welcome back to my channel. Okay, so it has been like a week. I didn't post any videos because I just came back from Cameroon. As you guys see that my latest video, my recent video, I just posted on YouTube, and this is my next video. So if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and click subscribe to my channel, and then you guys gonna get the latest of my video. Maybe if you guys got notification, but now I'm so busy doing all this stuff. Okay, so this is gonna be like a question that you guys been asking me, like why did I resign from my previous company. So what is my next plan? That I'm going to stay in Malaysia or I'm going to move somewhere else. So what makes me resign from my previous company, which is Qatar Airways. As you guys know that I'm working with Qatar Airways for like 3 years, and I'm so happy. I'm not saying that I'm resigning because of my unhappiness in Qatar or in Doha. Okay, so on today's videos, I'm just going to tell you guys basically what is my plan and why, when, and then what it's like living in Doha in Qatar and then working as a cabin crew in Qatar Airways. As you guys know that Qatar Airways is the best airline of the year. They won like straight 3 years or 2 years, I don't remember. Alright, so today's videos, let's get straight into it. I'm just gonna tell you guys a lot more further into details what it's like living in Doha, what is the rules and regulation that I really dislike about the company, and then there also that's something that I love with the company. And also I'm just gonna tell you guys that my plans next, so where I'm going to, reason why I'm leaving Qatar Airways. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the main reason why I have resigned from my previous company, which is Qatar Airways. Why did I resign from the company? It is actually I'm leaving for good. The main reason is it's not like, you know, I don't want to resign in the first place, but the circumstances like push us, which is me and my boyfriend, to leave the company with a few reasons. Okay. So at first when we were in Doha together, so we were living in Doha together for like a year and a half, for 2 years for me and a year and a half for him. It is actually, we don't want to resign at first place, but then we tried to, you know, figure out something else, that if we could stay in Doha or living together at the same time, this makes sense. And then I rang the company, the office. I asked them if you know, because in Doha it's totally forbidden two gay men, you know, living together without any relationship or whatever, any related like family or those things. So when I was in Doha, I rang them, I phoned the office, I asked them if I could stay in, you know, outside the company accommodation, which is they have provided. And when I asked them, and they said no, you're not allowed to stay outside because you are still in our responsibility, which is as a cabin crew in Qatar Airways, you got sponsor visa. So the sponsor visa require you to stay in a company accommodation as long as you still in you know, work visa with them. So that when it comes to that, so it's when the office say that I can't stay outside, which is he stay outside, which is he's staying in the company accommodation, but we were planned if we got to stay outside, we gonna move out, you know, and we gonna, you know, live together. But then when I rang them, they say like it's not allowed, and because it is not the company procedure and whatsoever, blah blah blah. So then I told him, I said like I'm not allowed to stay outside, and then we stay for a year more, because to resign from the company, I mean like resign from this Qatar Airways, we got to have a plan, which is me and him. So we have been planned to resign from the company. It has been a year that we plan what is the next step. We got to have a job first before we resign on all this etc etc. So I told him that he needs to get the job first and get the house and everything, so then I can just move out, because it is very difficult for me. For me, as Asian, I'm from Malaysia, so to get a job in Europe is kind of like difficult, because I got to have the work visa and apply and all this thing, so it's going to be a hassle. So I told him that he need to get a job, so then he took him about like half year to get a job, and then apply everything, all the process. So in the meantime, during that like half year that we have planned, we sort out like a lot of things like documents and all the documents that they required for me to go to Europe to get a job. So that time we've been like so busy. So a year it took us very smoothly. All the plan went smoothly. We done quite everything, all the documents. It's just a few documents that I haven't done yet. So that time we decided, and then he resigned first from the company. So he got 3 months notice, which is I only got a month. So he resigned first and he moved to Brussels. Right now he's in Brussels right now. So he got a job and he got a house and everything all settled in. Now it's just me. So that's why when he resigned after like 2 months, and then it's time for me to resign. So I resigned from the company like a month my notice. So I resigned from 1st of October. I put my resignation letter, and it's going to take a month, which is my final working days at that time in Doha. It was 1st of November, which is completed 3 years, exactly 3 years I was in Doha, and then I resigned. So the main reason why I have to wait it so long to resign after 3 years, it is because you guys gonna get the end year benefit, kind of like some kind of money for you when you're leaving after 3 years from the company. So that time, I don't know about the new contract, but that time my contract was like 3 years, and then you get end year benefit. And then I resigned from the company, and then I'm back to Malaysia. But that time, before I leave the company, I bought a ticket to Brussels. Right now I am so happy. I'm pretty excited now, as I only got like a week to fly to Brussels and go and see him. It has been like 2 months that we haven't seen each other, and I'm so crazy, and I'm so missing him so much, and I just can't wait to see him. And the feeling is just bizarre. It's huge, like it's like I don't know, it's something like you can't really say it through your mouth. It's just like just from your heart. Alright, so back into the story. And then it took me a month, and then I sent all my cargo, everything, basically everything, all the 3 years. I never take everything with me whenever I go back to Malaysia, so I have a bunch of stuff, which is I couldn't fit it in the check-in baggage, so I have to apply the cargo. So I applied the cargo, got 200 kg, and my stuff was like 180 something, which is nearly 200, which is like a lot. I got 8 boxes, as you guys know. I posted through my Instagram or Facebook and everything, all my boxes. And then when I was in Doha, I'm pretty excited. I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go and step further, and then move my life, and then stay with love, person that I love. We got a plan. So my plan was like, okay, when I moved to Brussels, I'm going to Brussels on this 8th of December. My plan was like, I want to celebrate Christmas with him, and this is like actually our second time Christmas in Brussels. Second time Christmas in Brussels, second time Christmas with him. Okay, so last year was in Doha, so this year we're going to celebrate like proper Christmas in Brussels. And then what else? Okay, and then I bought the tickets, British Airways, which is quite cheap, it's not too expensive. It cost me around like 3,000, like 5 or 3,008, something like that. Maybe, I don't remember. It was like 2 months ago. So I bought a ticket, and then my ticket is for 8th of December. Yes, and then I'm just counting down. Right now it's like 1st of December. I'm recording this video, and I'm leaving in a week. So the main reason when I got into Brussels, I'm not gonna go get a job strictly, because I mean, like, for me, I have to go through a lot of process, because I'm from Asia. To live in Brussels, which is in Europe, is quite difficult, and to get a job also is quite difficult for me. I have to go through lots of process. Okay, which is he's going to be my sponsorship partner, which is it's something like I go under his name or whatsoever. I don't really understand all the paperwork. Right? He understood more than me, and then I'm going to Brussels, and then within 3 months, okay, which is I'm going to Brussels for visiting. So once I got in Brussels, within 3 months period of a visa, so I need to sort out all this document, sponsorship whatsoever, in order to get a visa, the work visa in Brussels. So once I got the work visa in Brussels, I don't know how long it's going to take, how many months or whatsoever. The timing I did not know, but the thing that I know is like it's going to take time for sure. So then once I got in Brussels, get the work visa, everything, and then done. So once I then get the work visa, so then I can apply a job in Brussels, which is I am very open to any kind of job. That's what I told him. I could stay in aviation, or I could stick to fashion industry. As you guys know, I'm a fashion field student. So yeah, that was my plan, really. Not like huge plan. So right now we just want to settle in our life, and I just want to go through everything. Once I got the visa, everything done, and then I hope everything's gonna go smoothly. What we have plans together, I hope it's gonna be smooth, and then everything goes well. So that's only concern that I had in my mind right now, because I am quite apprehensive about my life in Brussels, because living in Europe is not that easy for the first time. I mean, like, I'm like very lucky because I got him, so at least he could help me in some cases of documents and everything. Okay, so that is all about my future, which is the plan that I'm gonna go, why I'm leaving Qatar, when, all these things. So it all had been answered for you guys. So this is actually the most highly recommended video that you guys been asking me, why and when did I leave Malaysia, and then why I leave Qatar Airways. Okay, so we're gonna go next to the next question that you guys been asking me, like we're gonna go through the company, so which is Qatar Airways. So as you guys know, I've been working with Qatar Airways for 3 years, and it has been amazing. It has been like wow. I got a lot of friends which is from different country, and then I'm just super pretty grateful with the God for such give me huge experience, and then to see the world, which is that I never been before. It teach me a lot of things actually. So the main reason why did I resign from the company, it is actually I'm not really happy if it makes sense. It is actually lots of the rules and regulation that you need to follow from the company. The first of all, that people most dislike the rules and regulation, which is you guys have the curfew or minimum rest, if I could say that. Minimum rest, which is why like people so stressed, and then people like so like couldn't live with it because of this kind of rules. Okay, so when I live in Doha, I've been working for 3 years, and then we got rules and regulations. So if let's say, I'm just going to tell you guys, this is roughly what is the rules and regulations in the company. So the first thing is when you got into Doha, but they didn't tell you upon your interview this rule and regulation, this thing, this particular thing that I'm going to tell you guys, they're not going to tell you guys during interview, but they're going to tell you guys once you got into Doha, which is you got accommodation, and once you got the accommodation, they're going to tell you what is the rules and regulations. First rules and regulation, which is the curfew and also the minimum rest. There's two things that I'm going to tell you guys. Before you apply a job in Qatar Airways, you better watch this video and listen carefully what it is curfew and minimum rest. Okay, so basically in Doha, for cabin crew, if okay, I give you guys an example. If it, let's say the next day you got flight, which is like maybe 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so then minimum rest, it is like 12 hours before your pickup time, which is if your departure at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and then your pickup, which is around like 3 hours before. Okay, so if we put in like maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, alright, so 9 o'clock in the morning, and then that is your pickup time, which is your pickup for your accommodation to the the QROC, they call the service, the main center service, that all the crew check in, check out, do briefing and all the stuff. Alright, so 9 o'clock, in the morning is your pickup, and 9 o'clock in the night, which is the night before, you can't go out. You only got 90 minutes, which is that 90 minutes you can only use for one time. When you swipe out from the company accommodation, then you have to swipe in back, but you have to be very, very careful because they do check. A lot of people got terminated because of that, and that is actually they're using for like their own weapon. If you got like like passenger complaint or any like sources of like they want to terminate you guys, so they're gonna check all the minimum rest and all these things. They are very, very particular, and this kind of thing is like vital for them. It's like they want to like got terminate people like easily, so that is their own weapon. So there's a lot of people like actually could follow the rules. If you want to follow the rules, you could do like for me, I never follow the rules at that time during when I was in Doha, so I just go out wherever I want. But you have to take the risk. If they like terminate you in one letter and that's it, you couldn't say anymore. You couldn't say like, oh, why you break the minimum rest and all these things. So you can't have any reason like why answer all this stuff. So it's actually very strict. And then so yeah, let's say like 9 o'clock in the morning your pickup, and then your minimum rest gonna start from 9 in the night, which is the day before. So you can't go out with him during that period, so you have to stay at home for 12 hours, and you only got 90 minutes, which is that 90 minutes you can use to send your laundry. Normally crew does, and they also go out for to have a dinner or to go and see friends for that 90 minutes. So this rule is actually people like can't stand about it anymore, because they are too stressed, because we are too stressed with the work. Flying like crazy in Qatar Airways, like your roster is going to be like 90 something, 80, and there's some people got 100 plus something, and you're going to fly like 4 or 3 days straight in a week, and you got 1 day off and then fly back, and the roster was it was like shit. It was crazy. That is good if you go on like to get some more money in the company, that's fine. I mean, like, that's your energy, because for me, when I woke up one day, I just felt like fatigue, and I was stood up, and then I was just like hold my cupboard that time, because I couldn't walk anymore, because my roster was like shit. So during that period, it's like 12 hours, so that is the only thing that I don't like about the company, that they have this bullshit minimum rest. For me, that is bullshit, because when you're serious about your work, your responsibility, if you got the next flight, so you have to get some rest. But 12 hours before flight is just crazy. Sometimes you couldn't do anything. Maybe they want you to sleep at home, but you couldn't sleep, because crew is like, your body clock is like upside down, and like daytime, nighttime is like everywhere, so you can't sleep easily. Just lie down in the bed and then close your eyes and you fall asleep. So that's not gonna happen. So that is the main thing that I'm concerned, that I'm dislike about the company. And then the second thing is like, when you get days off, let's say you got 3 days off, so you've been flying like shit like crazy for a week, then you got 3 days off, so a month you're entitled to get 8 days off, which is required and legal for you, and the rest of them is like they want to give you more than that. 8 is fine. So you require like 8 days off in the month. So during, let's say you got 3 days off, right, in a week, so you got 3 days off, so that 3 days off you can't go anywhere. And because they have a curfew. This curfew, that is minimum rest, is different thing, and curfew is different thing. So curfew, it is like like things that when you got days off, you have to go back by hook by crook, whatsoever reason, you have to go back at 4 o'clock in the morning. So you can't stay outside, you can't stay in the hotel. If you want to chill, drinking and stay in the hotel, looking at the beach, you relax yourself, no. So that's not gonna happen. So you got like 4 o'clock in the morning, that is your curfew. By hook by crook, you have to get home before 4 o'clock in the morning. That is the must. Break the curfew and there's no more excuses that they're gonna tell you guys. The next day they're gonna phone you and they're gonna tell you guys, that's it, you've been terminated, we not require your service anymore, and that's it, you know. And it's kind of like, you know, stress for me, because it's like you're living in the cage. Because, you know, our university time, like of course you got curfew and all this, you can't go out from university during that period of time because of, you know, like things, you know, happening. But you know, you are working already and you're adults and you know what to do and you know what actually you're doing outside. So by having this curfew, for me it's totally ridiculous. Because there's some people like don't deserve it at all, because the most of the people like stay in the company for 18-17 years in Qatar Airways. They're not, you know, like they're not supposed to have this kind of thing, because they are, you know, like come on, they're living there for 17-15 years. Why do you need this curfew things, you know? Because sometimes when you stress at work, you just want to go out and stay in the hotel, maybe chill, you know, see your friend, and you can, you know, go to the beach and wake up the next day and feel so fresh and relaxed. You know, you can't stay in the company accommodation for so long. Imagine, for me, I'm not happy. So that is the only thing that I'm dislike about the company. I felt like I'm living in the cage, like somebody like controlling me. And you know what is actually in front of your accommodation, there's a CCTV camera. Everything is a camera. So you can't really like, you know, cheat it. You can't really like do things, you know, because if anything happened to you on board, which is like passenger complaint or anything like, you know, that huge complaint which is from your own colleague, from your passengers, or for anything, they could go through your system and then they're going to check everything, like each and every single thing, that if you break the curfew, if you break the minimum rest and all those things, they're going to check and they're going to give you none reason to terminate you guys. Just like that, up one finger, you done. So that is going to be like, you know, unsecure job, because you got lots of responsibility at home, because you know, like coming to Doha and earn lots of you know, like lots of money, because you got things to do in your own country, which is you have to have a commitment. You're gonna go pay your you know, your whatever, car, houses and everything. But then living in Doha, working with Qatar Airways, is not really secure job that you have to really follow the rules. It's like you're living in the cage. It's like you don't have a life, you know. You just like spend the rest of your life, and then with the company, got a job, houses, cars, whatever you wanted at home. And then sometimes you just realize that after 15 years, that what I have done into my life is something like that, you know. Okay, so that is the main thing that I'm concerned about the company, that I dislike the most. So that's it really. And then because, you know, I don't want to, because my plan, I wasn't planning to stay for like, you know, 10-11 years in Doha, because I know living I mean, like being a cabin crew is such a nice job. I bet it's such a nice job. You got travel all around the world, been to so many places that you never been before. You never like couldn't even imagine what these places looks like, you know. You can go shopping and dinner with you know, in other country, and then lunch in other country, and then, you know, like this kind of environment is really nice. But the thing is, like, because of this rules and regulation, you just felt like you trapped, you know, you trapped in the cage, and you just like being controlled with somebody else that, you know, monitored you all the time, like 24/7, and then try to find faults on you, and then terminate you so easily. So you have no backup, you know. And also this rule is not only apply in Doha, which is on the home base. It also apply in you know, in the layover, which is the overseas, the country that you flying to. So if let's say that you are you know, got fly to London, so the next day your departure, because in Doha, working with Qatar Airways, the minimum rest that you could get in the hotel, the less layover you could get is like 12 hours before the flight. Even lesser than that, it's like 9 hours. So it is very tiring for 6 hours flight. London flight, super bustling, and then you just feel like like this, you know, and then like 8 hours sleep really, and then you have to go fly back to Doha, and then with this minimum rest and all this thing, you can't go out. I mean, like, if you really apply this rules and regulation, you can't go anywhere. You can't even go out from the hotels, because most of the hotel is right in the airport. Imagine, I mean, like, how fucking these people can go out, you know, like spend like maybe 2-3 hours. You will spend like 2 hours on the train, go to the city, and then spend plenty time in the city and then back, and it's like you break already on your minimum rest. But there's some people really follow, and there's some people do not follow, and but there's some of them in the office, they did they done it like random check. They call in the room, which is they just want to ask you guys if you guys around, if you guys are in the room or not in the room, so they check you guys. So they really did, trust me. Anything that you couldn't think of, they will think of it, and they were like, they're gonna call you guys, hello, are you guys in the room or whatever, and this thing happening. Alright, so that is the only thing that I dislike about the company. And then apart of that, okay, the good thing about living in Doha is like, it's nice because I have a bunch of friends which is different nationality, different cultures, that I you know, mingle around, that I've been out with them, so talk to them. It is really open your mind, and then in, you know, like in such a good way, because some people got, you know, different attitude, different the way they talk, different the way they think. So mingle with them and be together with them is such nice, because it's kind of like open your mind to accept more people, different type of people, the way they talk, the way they react to any kind of situation. Yeah, and that's it really. Apart from that, that is only things that I don't like about the company. And it is actually, there is a few more that I'm going to tell you guys, but I'm going to tell you guys on the next video. But in the meantime, this is the only thing that I'm just going to tell you guys. Alright, so that's all about the video. So everything that I want to tell you guys, I'm telling you guys here in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do click subscribe. At least, you know, I just want to update my life. Recently, you know, been in Malaysia right now, and I have a week basically to fly to Brussels and go and to see him. I'm pretty excited. I am so glad. That's it. So that is all about the company. That if you guys been asking me like why did I resign, things that I dislike about the company, I have told you guys. So I hope you guys got really you know, like adapt to this kind of talk. If you guys want to ask me further more question, any inquiries, please do so. I'm gonna put my emails down below, and anything that you guys want to talk, if you guys want to ask me about the interview, how to live and everything, so just put on your question. I'm gonna do another video which is question and answer, telling guys about the companies and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy, and please have a good day and enjoy your life. So you never know what is life next, which is, if you know, never step out from your comfort zone, so you never know what is world outside. So my advice is just to be happy whatever you are, wherever you are. So, and just, you know, be what you want to be. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.